Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. And for those of you guys catching the recording, thanks for taking the time. My name is Kelly Brown. I'm one of the coaches here leaning in for our Challenger Zoom. I want to encourage you to mark this on your calendar. I don't know about you, but Sunday's a big planning day for me. Maybe I could do a call on that in the upcoming months, how I plan each week. But I make sure to write down every important appointment, and this is one of my appointments. And it's not just because I'm a coach. As a coach, I'm a challenger always. And I think being on these calls will really help you because each week we're going to talk about things to help you go deeper in your journey. If you can't make it, they're always recorded. But there's something valuable about being on here face-to-face with everyone. And just the energy that we have on these calls can really lift you up. Megan's going to be leading us tonight, but before she does, we always do a little bit of a product focus to share different things that the company has released. And what's really cool is actually so many things are being released right now. It's kind of like Christmas in the summertime. Because I think with our company, a lot of times they release things when we have our convention every summer, but all of that because of COVID had to be canceled. And to help keep the excitement and to keep us excited, they literally are trickling out new products like every few weeks. And so to help you stay on top of it too, so you know what's there in a sense, because I don't know about you, but I get so many emails, I feel like I can't keep up with all the things people are offering, which is awesome. We'll talk a little bit about it. And the one I'm going to talk about tonight actually releases tomorrow. It's called the Weekender. This is exciting, guys. The Weekender is a little sample pack of like a weekend's worth of some of the top products. So in the past, if you wanted to try like Performance Line, you'd have to get Performance Sampler and you only got like, I think one of each or maybe. And then if you wanted a Shakeology sampler, you got, a week of Shakeology, but there weren't certain things available. Like you couldn't sample Beach Bars and you couldn't sample some of the other things. And so what they put together is basically a sample of called the Weekender, where you get to try. It has one lemon energized packet, one fruit punch energized packet. We just did release mixed berry, but that's not in there yet. 2 regular Recover, which is the chocolate protein-based recovery shake that you have after you work out to help reduce muscle soreness. 1 packet of Hydrate, which is our clean electrolyte drink that's like Gatorade. This is huge, especially if you're living somewhere where it's hot right now. I drink Hydrate daily to make sure my electrolytes are in check. My kids drink it when they have soccer and they're outside running. And then it has all three flavors of Beach Bars. So you get to try the plant-based one, which is chocolate almond crunch. And then there's 2 peanut butter chocolate Beach Bar and then a chocolate cherry Beach Bar. And those are both, they have, gosh, how many it's like a high protein snack bar that is very high in fiber. Is it 10 grams of protein? And like 7 grams. I should have written that down. I didn't write that down. I don't actually have any in front of me because the box gets eaten through pretty quick. But the Beach Bars are actually a great snack for you in the afternoon or for your kids after if they're training for sports. Instead of buying the stuff at the store, that's something that I would give my kids as something to have. So for all of those products, you get 2 Energized, 2 Recover, 1 Hydrate, and 3 Beach Bars. It's $24.95, which I think is great. It's a great price point. If you wanted to get it and take it while you're traveling for a weekend away, which is kind of cool, you would have for 2 workouts and the snack for 3 days. So that is releasing 10 grams of protein. Thank you, Angie. That is releasing tomorrow. If you want to give it a go, just ask your coach and they can help you get it set up. If you've been wanting to try Energize and wanting to try Recover, this is a great way to try it for a few days and see how it goes and how it helps you with your workouts. The bars are gluten-free. Thank you, Angie. See, you should have done this. It's a great deal. It really is. Especially with the Beach Bars, because sometimes people are like, I don't know. To me, the Beach Bars are kind of like a Kind bar, but better because they're not quite as nutty. Like, Kind bars are mostly nuts and they're bigger, which is nice. And so anyhow, that's our product feature for tonight. We'll have another one coming around the bend. We have a new Shakeology flavor coming out at the end of the month. That's going to be coming out as a seasonal selection. But yes, the Beach Bars are really good, guys. Like And I'll tell you, the last thing I'll tell you that I love about it is that all of these things are clean. And I don't say that lightly. Like, a lot of bars that you get have soy products in them, and all of our plant-based products use pea protein but no soy. And for us, that's huge because my husband has a soy allergy. But they use natural ingredients. So when you read the ingredients, you recognize what's in it, and that to me is a big plus as well. So, and you know what's really good is when you have a Beach Bar and you dunk it in your coffee instead of a donut. Kind of good. Okay. I'm going to hand it over to Megan now.
Now I want a Beach Bar. They're like so hard for me to resist when I have them in my house. Yeah, I could eat them.
At least it's a good treat though. You know what I mean?
It is a good treat, but they're like covered in chocolate, y'all. They're not like you're tasting like bird food granola bars. Like they're good. Okay. So it's the beginning of June, which is awesome, the beginning of summertime. So I'm going to talk to you about getting started right. And so many of us have we're not just getting started, but I think what I'm going to share with you tonight is going to help reinvigorate your fire. And also for those of us who are recommitting, this is really for you guys. So I'm going to talk about how to start, how to go all in, how to start when you don't have everything figured out, when your package hasn't arrived, when you haven't finished watching your nutrition videos. And also just your day one, I just want to emphasize this, your day one does not have to look like somebody else's day 1000. So it's going to be a little messy at first because you're building new habits. So it's not going to look like you've done this already your whole life, and you got to just keep that in mind. So with that said, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is your mindset, because that's something that I have found that I love the most about this community, Beachbody as a company as a whole, is that they really emphasize the importance of your mindset. If you listen to any of the trainers, especially Shaun T and Elise, they are constantly telling you like, you can do this, like get those bad, angry voices out of your head, push past that. And then we have a whole program to be mindset. You know what I mean? Like the company as a whole is trying to put across that it has to start in our head. And yes, she makes me cry too. Whenever I do a workout, I'm like, oh, I feel like a bad mom today. And then I'm like, wait, I'm not allowed to feel like a bad mom because Elise tells me I can't and I'm worthy and I'm wonderful. But anyways, yeah, so the reason I think this is because when we do something like a diet or, you know, anything that's a quick fix is it's over and it's done with. You know, I think what pushes people through when they commit to a diet or something that they're looking for like one specific end result is that you kind of push yourself until it's over. And here we're building habits and changing our whole lives, and we're gonna have to do that forever and ever and ever. And so don't settle, but be okay with taking the first step. You know, like when you're climbing a mountain or something, you just have to start, right? You can't think about like the big picture. You just have to start. Because if you think about it being like, okay, I'm going to lose 50 pounds and I'm going to do morning meltdown 100 and I'm going to eat perfectly and da, 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 da. It can be like the whole mountain is in front of your eyes. So just start. That one step is going to make it a lot less burdening, and give yourself permission to learn how your life is going to look different and how things are going to feel different, and that it's going to be messy and you're going to get frustrated. I'm telling you right now, it's just part of it. Because something that I was reading about and something that I've been thinking about is when we change our lives, when something big happens, when we experience change at all, in a sense, we psychologically mourn the loss of what we used to experience, what we knew before. And so when that happens with our health journey, with our exercising and our nutrition, we think back to what was comfortable and why we were in that place before, and we miss it. And that can get in the way of us making these decisions that are going to change our lives, because they are uncomfortable, and what we were in before, in a sense, was comfortable. And so in order to get past that, is we need to remember and not forget why we connected with our coach and what we talked about, why we got started. And think about why you started. I really encourage you to write it down and keep it somewhere you can see every day. But also think about why you got started and then dig deeper into that. I'm not going to get into that whole thing, but just take some time to really think like, okay, why did I get started? And why did that matter then? And why does it still matter? And how can I dig even deeper to that and commit even stronger to that? And then you just really honestly just need to trust the process. You just got to trust the process. So Jake has been working out for 11 weeks now. And we just started 2B Mindset. He just started 2B Mindset 2 weeks ago. And there are so many times where he's grumbling and he's like, I'm not getting the results that I want right away. And I constantly have to remind him, like, first of all, to count his wins, and recognize like what things are going well and what changes have happened. But also just to trust the process. It, like I said at the very beginning, like, this is for life. You have the rest of your life to have the results. So just keep at it and trust it. If we were here for a quick fix, Jake would look like Shaun T already, but he doesn't. And that's because he has a lifelong journey of health, and we're not here to just like, or he'd go down the street to, we have this advertisement on a big road here that's like, melt your fat off at some like fat melting wrapper machine or something. And I'm like, you can go there, you know, but like, that's not what we're about. We can't do that for the rest of our life. And it's probably not healthy anyways. So we're here for authentic health, right? And sometimes that means the results are going to look different than, you know, quick fixes look. So just trust the process. And I think that when we understand that it's a lifelong process, then we really can embrace it as just part of our life and part of our life journey. And, you know, it helps us be more patient. And then it also helps us be consistent, because we're not going to be like, this isn't working for me, I'm going to find something else, and ping pong all around all the different fads that are out there. You know, there's always going to be something else out there. And then if you are recommitting, if you have fallen off a little bit and you're recommitting, something I want to tell you is that this is your first step to consistency. And the reason I say that is because when we're on a lifelong journey of health and wellness, life's going to happen and things are going to get in our way, and we're going to have to pause and reevaluate and not give up, but we're going to have to make some changes sometimes. And so if you have stopped and you're starting again, you are being consistent because you are coming back. And that's what it is every single day. Once you get into the routine of everyday fitness, you're recommitting every day. So coming back now is your first step in consistency, because as you commit more and more and more, and as you come back more and more and more, that gap is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And before you know it, it's going to be habit. It's going to be part of your life that you literally cannot imagine it not being part of your life. Okay, so let me give you a couple practical tips beyond just the mindset thing. One of my biggest tips is to schedule. Guys, I hate scheduling. I am like very, I don't know. I just, probably you can tell when I speak on these calls, like I kind of like go all over the place, and I just like to follow my emotions and let that decide what I do. But that doesn't really help when we're trying to build new habits because they take discipline. So I think it's really helpful to schedule. Scheduling can be, I'm going to do this at this exact time for this long, or it can be, I'm going to do this when this is happening. I'm going to do this when the baby's napping. I'm going to do this when my husband watches his favorite show at night. I'm going to do this before my roommates get home. I'm going to do this before I go to work. You know what I mean? Like you can set, I don't know, like things that you're going to get, like time frames, or markers of like, I'm going to get this done before this happens. So some things that I think you should schedule if you're starting or recommitting, or if you haven't done this yet, is the times you eat. This has been something I've been doing in quarantine and in my postpartum for the third time journey. And this is crazy helpful because we always eat breakfast around the same time, just because my kids will raid my pantry more than they do if I don't feed them at a certain time in the morning. But it's helpful for me to know when I eat breakfast, know when I'll eat lunch, know when I'll have my snack, and know when dinner is, because especially between that lunch and dinner time, if I don't have a planned time for my snack, then I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry. What looks good? And I just eat whatever. And it's really helpful to give myself some time to get really hungry, not like starving, but if I don't get really hungry, then I want something that sounds good, but not necessarily is good for me. So if I get really hungry by dinner time, I want the food that's good for me more than just like following my cravings. I'm more likely to be consistent with eating baked chicken and salad for dinner than, hey, I want pizza. You know what I mean? Because it's not just giving into a craving and it's that time of day and my body's used to eating. I'm like so hungry. Salad sounds great. You know what I mean? Yeah, it helps in so many ways, but those are my biggest tips for why that helps. Scheduling in your Shakeology, guys, I've been drinking Shakeology pretty much consistently for 3 years, and I still, if I don't like plan when I'm going to have it, and I love it and I crave it, but if I don't plan when that's going to happen, it doesn't happen. Because then if I'm eating too many things, then I'm not hungry for it. And then I'm like, well, why would I force myself to eat something if I'm not hungry? So it's really helpful to schedule it in. For me right now, I have it for snack because I chose a time of day when I'm most craving something sweet. I have before had it for breakfast. I've before had it for like after dinner, if that's like a huge sweet tooth time. But that's one of my tips for scheduling Shakeology. Think about when you have like a slump in your day, or you're most likely to crave something sweet and give in to that temptation. Have your Shakeology then. Or if you just don't have a whole lot of time to get a meal in, put your Shakeology there. Schedule in your personal development. Give yourself 10 minutes a day. Seriously, schedule in your personal development. Schedule your workout in. I've learned that from Jake. I don't typically want to schedule in my workout, and it kind of works out for me at this point in my journey. But watching Jake start his fitness journey, and he's worked out before, but never this consistently. The key to his consistency is doing it at the exact same time every single day. And we all know that at 4:30, Jake's going to work out for 30 minutes. And yeah, it helps him so much. And he picked that time because hopefully he'll be home from work at that time, and it'll be the first thing he does, or around like 5-ish, and that'll be the first thing he does when he gets home. And then, I can make food for dinner and we'll eat right after and fuel him well. But just picking a time for your workout will help you a lot. Scheduling time to check into the group is a really good idea. putting a reminder on your phone for that is really good. Any of these, you can put a reminder on your phone, honestly, when you need to eat. It's a good idea. I actually have some challengers who forget to eat because they're first time mamas, and we all know that can be a little overwhelming, and we're helping so much our little babies and we forget to take care of ourselves. So scheduling time or a reminder to go off to eat is really important for people who forget to eat too. But yeah, to check into the group, guys. Checking into the group means, I'm just going to define this just in case, I think it's helpful to know what is expected, is looking at the post that went up that day, engaging with that post, checking in, if you're in bod groups, logging your stuff, logging your Shakeology from that day, your workout from that day. If you want to put your weight in there, I don't think it shows anybody, but you can put your weight in there. You can put your food in there. I think you can post your food in the group. You can put your Energize and your Recover in there. And then if you're in a Facebook group, check in there. And then go encourage the other people that have posted that day too, including your coach. Just because we're coaches doesn't mean we don't want encouragement. So that 5 minutes tops, I promise you. And I guarantee that many of us are wasting our time on social media, getting all angsty about what's being posted on it, especially right now. So give yourself like the treat of checking in with your group at night, because it's going to be so good for your brain at, during this time, something that's positive, and let other people encourage you and inspire you, and then spread love to other people. So schedule time for that. If you are new to Ultimate Portion Fix or To Be Mindset, schedule a time to watch those videos and give yourself a goal for when you're going to have those done by. Give yourself I'm going to watch videos at this time for 10 minutes, and I want to be done with the videos by this time. And you can reverse engineer how many, days you need to take for that. I have been doing To Be Mindset for 2 years now, and I've watched all of the videos probably 5 times over. And it's so helpful to have that information reiterated, because there's so many things that I've never done Ultimate Portion Fix, but there's so many things that Alana and To Be Mindset goes over that I need to commit to memory if I want to be successful doing the program. And I'm sure this is true for Ultimate Portion Fix. If we just follow the program by just looking at Plate It, or just, counting up our containers, we're really missing out on a lot of success, because To Be Mindset, for one, is not just about Plate It. It's about a lot more than that. And she's going to teach you a lot more than just following the portions on your plate. And once you listen to that and take the time to learn that and relearn it if you need to, you're going to find so much more success. And the thing with those programs is it's one nutrition plan that you have for the rest of your life. Take advantage of that and just keep recommitting to it. And it's so much easier for me now to recommit to it, because I've learned so much and committed so much of it to my memory than it was even like 6 months ago, to be honest. Okay, let's see if I hit all those points real quick. Oh yeah, I think it's really helpful to communicate with the people that you live with when you're going to be doing these things, especially your workout. If you're taking up common space, if you live with other people, or you're in a family that relies on your time and attention, it's helpful for my kids to have like a little warning of like, this is what I'm going to do now. A little transition time is helpful for them. It's helpful for me being on the other side of it, to know when Jake's going to work out and to have that expectation every day. And it's also helpful, like my blender's broken right now, but when I would blend my shake, to give Jake a little bit of a warning, because he'd be like, oh, you always blend the Shakeology at the worst time and it's so loud and it drives me nuts. And so like, you know, even letting people know I'm going to be making my shake at 3:30 this afternoon, like it can be really helpful. So communication is going to help you if you are living with other people. Let's see. Oh, and then scheduling time to make your menu for the week is going to be huge. Some of you might really need to meal plan, like meal prep is what I'm trying to say. I don't really do that, but I do menu plan. And I give myself about an hour a week to make my menu. Basically what I'll do is I'll make 7 different dinners. So I do seven days at a time, because I find that my groceries will last that long, and it's just so much easier to just do 7 days of groceries and then just go back and buy more. And then I give myself 2 breakfast options. I basically always have Shakeology for snack. And then if I need something else, I have an option for that. And then I give myself 2 lunch options. My lunch options are usually leftovers plus an FFC, since I'm doing 2B mindset. And then my other option is just like a salad with some protein and FFC, and we'll buy like an extra protein to have on hand if we didn't have leftovers. And yeah, so when you're meal planning, I think it's helpful just to kind of make it really simple like that. And then you can make your grocery list based on your plan, which helps you save money. And helps you save time, because you're not running back and forth from the grocery store all week long. And then also consider when you're going to work out, so that you're not like, oh, well, I just ate. Oh, well, I'm really hungry now. You know what I mean? Like if you have it kind of structured, then it's so much easier to commit to both things. A couple tips on Shakeology. If you're just starting to drink Shakeology, or you're recommitting to Shakeology, or you're trying to be more consistent with Shakeology, you might not like it. You might find that the texture is weird, or you don't like the flavor of stevia, or you just don't really like it at first. But give yourself time to get used to it. Give your gut time to get used to it, because it might clean you out a little bit. But just some tips, pretty much across the board, a lot of people really like it blended with some kind of liquid, whether it's water, coffee, milk, or milk alternative, ice. You can put fruit in there, some peanut butter or nut butter or peanut butter powder. Or if you are doing one of the nutrition plans and you can't squeeze in all your veggies, go ahead and I really like spinach in there as the veggies. If I'm going to put any veggies in there, spinach is pretty much the only one I'll do. Or Power Greens. There's a Power Greens boost you can get from Beachbody, which has like celery, matcha, spinach, and like maybe 2 other greens in there. Kale. Yeah. Some people like zucchini. I can't eat zucchini, but that's a popular one to put in a shake. And then you have a meal. So like if you need a quick breakfast, if you put all that stuff in there, then it can be a meal replacement for you. But the purpose of Shakeology really is to be a supplement. So it's going to change your life, and it's going to change your results, and it's going to change your gut health, which is going to change everything in your life, your mental health, like everything. I mean, I can't really make these claims, but it's really going to help. You need to give it time. Give it at least 30 days before you write it off, and try and find what works for you, because it is that good that it's worth getting past the stevia. I hated stevia before I started drinking it. And even as I was drinking it, I was like, that's the thing that I don't like about it the most. Now, I don't even care. Like, I like it so much, I don't even care about the stevia. But that was really hard for me to get past. But I'm telling you, with consistency, your body's going to crave the good stuff that's in there that you're not even going to care. And you're going to love it. And one thing that I've been doing that I think is super good is mixing it with whole fat plain yogurt. And then I have to water it down a little bit with a little milk. And that is so filling and it's so tasty, and it really is like a very good treat. You can drizzle some nut butter or peanut butter on the top, or I've put a little bit of strawberry jam in it, which is really good. Or you can, put some fruit on top. Yeah, it is so good like that. A couple tips on fitness. I think that it's really important to pick a program and stick with it. See it through and make that promise to yourself. If you think about it, you probably wouldn't break a promise that you made to somebody. And if you are somebody, this is a good opportunity to work on making promises, not breaking promises. Don't break them to yourself. Make the promise to yourself that you're going to stick with the program that you start with. If you miss a day, it's okay. Forgive it and forget it and show up the next day. Not one coach on here probably hasn't just, missed a day because life happens, but you just got to recommit and keep going. It's very, it's a huge win if you finish a program within the calendar. Let me just put it that way. You're still going to reap great results. You're still doing a great job. If you need to follow the modifier, follow the modifier, follow the modifier, follow the modifier. Just pick it and commit to it. Make that promise to yourself and don't break that promise to yourself. If you're really afraid of the commitment of a whole program, there are programs that are a week long. There are programs that are 100 days long. Just commit to Clean Week. Or if you are a little more advanced in your fitness, commit to Sean Week and then go to 21 Day Fix, or Muscle Burns Fat is going to be a 3-week program, and then go to 21 Day Fix Extreme, and then go pick a 6 to 8 week program. And if you are doing a big program like Morning Meltdown 100, take it 5 to 10 days at a time and celebrate every time you do 5 workouts or 10 workouts. Every single person that is one of my challengers that has been either a big fitness person, an athlete, or in a sense like a gym rat has come back to me and said, I've never gotten the results in the gym doing what I did or as an athlete that I do following a program. I have had so many people tell me that. Like, these programs are amazing, so just follow them. But if you can't follow it perfectly, it's okay. Just trust the process. I said to schedule time for it. I really do think that, just to put this point further, I think that when you're first starting out, picking a program and committing to the calendar and committing to a time every day just really helps you be disciplined about it, because that's one of the hardest things about building a habit, is being disciplined while you're creating that new habit. For all the things that I've already said and a lot of that mindset stuff that I spoke to you about in the beginning of the call. So just a couple ideas before breakfast in the morning, or like Jake does right before dinner. Or you can do, during nap time, if you're a mom of littles and you're at home. Figure out what works for you and give it a month. And if it still isn't, if you're a mom and you pick 3 p.m., good luck. But like, if things are hitting the fan at that time, it's okay to change it. But I think that one of the things we really need to do when we're working on being disciplined with our habits and creating habits is identify where we're making excuses and where we can just kind of accept, that it needs to happen anyways. And where, things really aren't, it's really not serving us to work out at that time. And we really do need to make a change. It's going to be up to you to make that, but that's where you need to make the promise to yourself, so that you can work through your excuses. And of course you can reach out to your coach and say, I'm struggling with this. Help me identify if this is an excuse or if this is like real life. And the last thing I want to talk about is personal development a little bit more. Like I said in the beginning, when we're experiencing a change in our life and we're making a change, we can really mourn the loss of the comfort of our life before. or when we're working out, or we're eating, it just is, it's so uncomfortable. It can feel really, really hard. We can show up to that workout and the whole time just feel super weak, or the full week long, we're thinking about how much we miss the old food that we used to eat all the time. And one of the things that helps with that, in addition to remembering why you committed to it in the first place, is having personal development. Y'all, we all have the voices in our head and the feelings that tell us that we can't do this or that it's not worth it. And personal development is your secret sauce to combating that. And you need that daily reminder to just tell that mean girl or that negative voice in your head to just shut up. And just speak truth and speak life over you. So that's really what you use for personal development is going to depend on what you hear the most in your head and what you need the most to encourage you. But every day, guys, every single day, just commit to it. It's going to make such a difference because it's going to help you make that conscious decision to commit and change your mindset, because like I said at the beginning, the mindset is what's going to take this from just a temporary quick fix to a lifelong journey of lifelong health. And so some personal development, you can read it or listen to it, podcasts, a talk, audiobook, you can read a physical book. And then I would like pick a podcast or pick a book or something. And if you want to do a couple different things, kind of pick what you're going to do each day. That might take a little more work. It's probably easier just to pick a book. If you need it on audio, pick an audiobook, and commit to finishing that or seeing that through. And then pick a time to get that done. If you need help unwinding at the end of the day, right now we're consuming a lot of different people's feelings and opinions, and a lot of people are telling us what we need to do and think and feel right now. So that can be kind of overwhelming. Maybe at the end of the day, having something that speaks life over you is a good time to get that done. So yes, that is everything that I have. Did anybody want to share any other tips or anything else?
I think you did a great job. And I just wanted to say, if you need personal development recommendations, some people are posting some in the chat, but you can also ask your coach. We have lists, as part of being a coach. It's not required in a sense, that someone smacks you over the head and tells you to read, but it's a big part of being a coach is that you have to be working on yourself. And I'll tell you that I fought it for a really long time because I thought it was like Stuart Smiley from Saturday Night Live looking in the mirror saying cheesy things, if anyone even knows who that is anymore. But anyway, but back in the day. But one thing that you said that made me think of this is it is the secret sauce. So I thought about this week. If you don't believe you're worthy of the change, then if you hit your goal, you're cheating yourself out of 75% of what you would achieve more if you actually believe that you were good enough on the way there. And when you said the secret sauce, it made me think of anyone who's ever been in South Carolina in Charleston. There was this place called Kickin' Chicken when I was in college. Do you know what I'm talking about, Megan?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Only not To Be Mindset or Ultimate Portion Fix friendly, but they made these sandwiches.
Anything in the South?
No, it was deep fried chicken in a po' boy if you were in New Orleans, with cheese and bacon and all in this hoagie. But they had their sauce, and the sauce made it better. Does that make sense? And so I think about it, how the secret sauce of personal development brings out the flavor of your journey. And so it's going to be different for all of you. If you ever go to Chick-fil-A, they have 85 different dipping sauces. I don't even know what to choose anymore. You got to choose your favorite. I might like Polynesian. You might prefer ranch. Someone else might like Chick-fil-A sauce. So you can't just say, everybody read this book. Definitely there are books that I think can benefit everyone in some season. but ask what has helped someone. If you struggle with emotional eating, there's really good books for helping with that. If you struggle with time management, with putting yourself first, with believing that you're good enough, with perfectionism, with scheduling, like we're all wired uniquely and beautifully by God. And so you need to find something that serves you. So if you pick up a book and you're reading it and you're like 3 or 4 chapters in and it's not feeding you, put it down and get another book. And so let's make sure this week, if you're not adding personal development into the journey, that you ask your coach and talk to them a little bit about what they would recommend based on your needs. Because it definitely, to me, can accelerate your results in a sense that you'll start recognizing things that you before probably didn't think counted. And so I just wanted to piggyback on that. And then the other thing I was going to say, Megan, that you said that was so good is just that I just finished 10 rounds on Friday, and it's a 6-week program, and it took me 8 because I got sick twice and I didn't fail, and I still got good results. So don't be upset if it takes you. Morning Meltdown 100, I joked, was like a 3,000 day program for me. It took me 6 months to finish it because for me, I don't work out typically more than 5 days a week for my adrenal health. But that's why printing the calendar matters, because you see the progress you're making. And then if you miss 3 days, you still see that you did 14. And so you can just pick back up where you left off. So please don't let perfectionism, because the old Kelly would have started the program over every time. I wouldn't have picked up where I left off. I would have thought it didn't count because I didn't do it perfect. And I don't think I've ever been able to do a program on schedule because life happens, and that's the beauty of it. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. But I just wanted to kind of reiterate what you already said, but thank you, Megan.
Good.
So good.
Anything else? All right.
Oh my gosh, Allison, if you go to Charleston, you have to eat at Kickin' Chicken, and it'll be a treat day.
Where is Kickin' Chicken?
In downtown, if it's still there. I mean, y'all, I was in college a long time ago. It's kind of like Cane's. If you ate Cane's in the Texas toast with the cane sauce.
This sounds like Zaxby's.
No. Cane's, well, anyway.
Because they have Kickin' Chicken sauce.
It's much better. I've had Cane's. We have one like literally a mile from my house.
Funny story, the guys that started Cane's were business majors at LSU, and their business professor told them they would never make it in life when they pitched the idea of Kickin' Chicken, and now they're laughing at that.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Not that you should have fried chicken every day. Sorry if everybody's like, no, I need to go eat fried chicken. But my point was the sauce. The sauce. Okay, Megan, you want to close us in prayer?
Yes, I do. Oh, Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us together tonight to just dig into taking care of ourselves well. Lord, I hope that you speak into the hearts of those who are here tonight or who are listening to the recording, and help us to just give you glory with the ways that we take care of our bodies. Lord, I just ask that you bring peace into our hearts, into our homes, into our lives, our communities, and our country right now. Help us to be instruments of your peace in this time right now. And Lord, just help us to turn to you and to trust you as our creator, as love itself, and as the one who made hearts and can change hearts. Lord, I just ask that you be comfort to us in this time. And just help us have an amazing, joy-filled week, and remind us of our worthiness all week long. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.